Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dots Race video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21, round 2 of our MotoE World Championship, and it's time for Le Mans of the hashtag French GP. So in E-pole is Matt Grant with Granado, Torres on the front row, Cassadei, Perolari and Zacconi on the second, Iwema, Hernandez, Egeta, Ferrari, Tulovic and Mantovani, Perez, Pons, Akubu, Cardalus, Aldeguer, Herrera and Kevin Zanoni at the back of this French GP grid. So we look to the lights now, waiting for those elusive red lights to disappear, and away we go! Good start there from Eric Granado. Is Jordi Torres going to be there on the right-hand side as well? I do see Matteo Cassadei as well, and a bit of Perolari on the right-hand side, just briefly, but going into Dunlop on the right-hand side. Who's going to be the last of the late breakers? Who's going to have the biggest cojones to go into there for turn 3 to turn 4 potentially around the outside? Not quite. Eric Granado got the dream start. The whole shot goes for the Brazilian, and Torres in second position. The current MotoE World Cup winner, of course, the two-time Torres just ahead of us, and Matteo Cassadei behind us with Zacconi and Perolari getting involved just behind us as well, and former MotoGP rider Yoni Hernandez just a little bit further behind Perolari there. But into the left-hander there, what a move that is from Matteo Cassadei. Absolutely beautiful manoeuvre there, chucking up on the inside from the man from Rimini goes, as we now try and defend against him, or at least attack him, going into Garage Vert. Very wide line there for three of the riders in front of us as we ran it a little bit deep going into Garage Vert, and a mistake has been made for the MotoE World Cup Championship leader, and we are now pushed down to 6th position. However, only temporary, because we did fight back, and now we're into the slipstream of Alessandro Zacconi. We'll try to go round the outside in a moment's time as we brake very heavy going into the Shimano buff for the left-handers of turn 9. Flick it to the right-hand side for turn 10. Bring on the acceleration, bring on the power, and try and get behind him going into the right-hander for the Blue S's. Pretty interesting start so far. Granado has the lead with Torres in second, Cassadei third, and Alessandro Zacconi in 4th position, who has now just been beaten by the MotoE World Cup Championship leader. But now onto the right-hand side for the 13th corner for the very first time of asking. We made a mistake, and Zacconi fights back. We're not looking as preen and pristine as we did earlier 4 hours ago in the E-pole session, but now it is time to sort of get back into the thick of things, get into the focusing zone and start focusing exactly on how to get back at these riders and get ahead of Zacconi and Cassadei to fight in the podium positions. But now onto the left-hand side, we'll go for turn 3. Not quite brave enough to make a move up at the inside of Alessandro Zacconi. The Otto Pramac rider doing a fantastic job of keeping me at bay for the time being, but it's only a matter of time when he lets his guard down, lets the door open a little bit, and we get on through. And I'll tell you what, guys, look at that perfect timing, already through on Alessandro Zacconi as he just lets that door open just a little bit too much. Instead of the door being open a bit, I just chuck the crowbar in and fling it right open. We're now into 4th position and can only mean one thing. It is time to pursue the top 3 riders in this class right now here in the French GP. Now, they're all doing that weird sort of line going into Garage Vert, and they are losing way too much time by doing so. And now we're onto the rear, in fact going ahead of Matteo Cassadei. Not quite. The man with the 658 Squadra team is still hanging on to 3rd position as things stand, but I'm pretty confident in our abilities going into Shimano buff. Goodness me, he almost took my left foot off. Wow, that would have been a bit too scary if he decided to fling it across, but now going into the right-hand side, too much acceleration was applied on the right wrist there from Grant, and he did slide the rear a little bit, but a little bit of contact has also been made going into the S-Blurs for the second time of asking in this Grand Prix here today. Now Torres right on the rear of Eric Granado, so it can only be a good old-fashioned battle now going into turn 1 and 2 in just a moment's time, but record him on. Everyone seems to get through there pretty safely, and now it's time to bring on the acceleration, get into the rear of Torres, get into the rear of Granado, and begin to make a move. So the fastest man on track right now with a lap time very similar to his E-pole lap time, which was a 1:41.830, but now on the right hand side I think we're going to have a lunge up at the inside of Torres. Wonderful change of direction if we can get that job done. We certainly did. Torres is nowhere to be seen. Grant up into 2nd position. Eric Granado, it's down to you, my friend. Can you deter the man who is on a mission right now, the championship leader, as we go into the right-hander for La Chapelle, following Granado straight into this corner? It's Igra versus Matt Mgra, which is obviously Eric Granado versus Matt Grant as we go on the left-hand side. The 51 versus the number 47, as we go on the left-hander for Muse. Bring on the acceleration in a moment's time. Wait for Eric Granado to go for that little weird swing, and then we'll go for the braking zone going into Garage Vert, but he tries to get up in front of me there, and a little bit of contact was made going into the right-hander of Garage Vert. Eric Granado really not wanting to let us get on through, and I think he's wise to do so. He needs to defend as much as possible, because if we get through, you better believe I'm going to start churning out them fast lap times. I love Le Mans and I love being in front, so here it is. A wonderful chance to try and fight back as we go into Shimano Buff, and then for the right-hander of turn 10. We get the acceleration properly done here, and I think we could be making a lunge well and truly before the end of this lap, and we go round the outside for the blue S's, but Granado wonderfully defended. Look how he positioned his bike ahead of us so he couldn't get on through. Brilliantly done, but I'm like Jim Morrison from the Doors. I'm going to break on through to the other side at any moment time if we get the opportunity arising. Let's have a go. We're going into the right hand for Recordamon. Get into the acceleration zone and bring on the power. But oh, the man from Rimini has crashed out, and so has Alessandro Zacconi. Cassidai and Zacconi have ended their Grand Prix early, and it'll be an early bath for both Italian gentlemen, as they will not be finishing in the top 10 in this Grand Prix. But back to the action unfolding. Is Grant going to make a move up on the inside of Granado? You better believe it. Has the job been done? Granado fought back beautifully. What a brilliant manoeuvre there from Eric Granado, the Brazilian, responding with absolute class and finesse, getting back up at the inside going into the fourth corner. That was terrifically done there from Eric Granado. If someone gets ahead of you, that is how you have to respond. You fight back immediately, and you don't even give them a chance to fight back after that one. A counter-attack from Granado was perfectly executed against the British rider, but the 27-year-old from Warrington, you know him as Dr. Ace, I know him as me, and we are very, very confident in our abilities, and we will not allow Eric Granado to get away from this as he swings across and gives me an absolute massive whack, almost sending us into the long lap penalty line there. Goodness me, that was an absolute disaster for myself. Eric Granado didn't like my bigging up of commentary there, so he thought, get off the track, mate. We don't need you right now, but I tell you what, now I'm more determined than ever to chase him down and get back ahead of the Brazilian. But now we have Jordi Torres stuck in our way, but Torres is a tough customer to get past, and we're going to have to try and get the job done soon, just in case Granado decides, you know what, I think I'll let the pin fly and I'm going to go for it. But we're not going to allow that to happen right now. Let Torres run it a little bit deep and go for that tight apex and get on through on the inside of the Pons rider. Have we got the job done? We certainly have. Going into the right-hander, super tight there, going too close to Eric Granado. Do not push him off the track. We aren't taking that sort of aggression to this level. We got a little bit messy going into Recordamon, but you better believe there was no malice in that one. My apologies, Granado. Didn't want to try and push you off the track as the Brazilian fighting back alongside us. Look, both of us stuck on each other. I couldn't even move then. Stuck together like white on rice. I can't even get away from him. Can't shake him off, but going into Dunlop now for 3 and then for the right-hander for turn 4. Have we got the job done? We're surviving well. We are now into the lead with a 0.2 of a second gap. Has that been the crucial break that we needed here on lap 5 of 8? Can Granado respond? Can Torres respond? Has he got anything left in the MotoE locker? Can he fight back and potentially get ahead of Granado and even chase me down? But for the time being, going into the left-hander for Muse, up by 0.2 of a second. This could well and truly be the breaking point of our Brazilian friend, Eric Granado. So now going into the Garage Vert in the right-hander in just a moment's time. Right down easy boot, just touching the tarmac as we go on the right-hand side for Garage Vert. Looks like we've navigated that pretty well. Bring on the acceleration coming out of the corner. That is wonderful, and we now have a 0.3 of a second buffer to the Brazilian behind, Eric Granado. So a quick recap of your top 8 riders right now as things stand. Granado and Torres would be on your podium if things come to a conclusion right now. Perolari, Eggerter, Iwama, Hernandez and Lucas Tulovic in 8th position. I think that might be it for Granado. I don't really think he can compare to our lap times when we really get going here in Le Mans. We dominated in Moto 2, MotoGP, and again here today I very much feel like once we have that free bit of track and we get the bit between our teeth and we get left alone, I do believe this is when the fast laps can truly start coming in with a vengeance. So across the line we will go. It's a 142.171, but we were engaging in battle, some serious battle actually, with Eric Granado, so we'll get a good indication now on this lap to see where we're going to end up. So braking hard for the left-hander off into turn 3 and then to turn 4. Nicely done for the Dunlop chicane, and now going underneath the massive tyre, the bridge, as we go on the left-hander for briefly for turn 5, and then for the right-hander of La Chapelle for turn 6. You can see ourselves on the camera over there on the big screen and you can see there's no riders behind us. We have now breached the 1 second lead. I've said this in many videos before, and I'm going to say it again, and if you're aware of what I'm going to say, let's say it together. When you get 1 second lead, you break the resolve of your opponent behind and things become easier. We now have that 1 second buffer. Is Eric Granado going to dig down extremely deep into those big hefty pockets and find an answer for Matt Grant right now? Oh, a little bit of a slide going out of garage. For every time I start talking big about myself, I always make a mistake. It's a bit of a reminder to stay humble, I guess. But going into the left-hander now for Shimano Buffs. Pretty confident with our abilities in this particular section of track, and I do feel... And there you go again. There's a track limit warning for you. I really should shut up when it comes to situations like that, but I do feel that this is my strongest sector of the track. I'm very confident going into the final sector. Going into Shimano Buff, Blue S's, Recordamon, really confident in our abilities, and right now the gap has gone up to 1.8 seconds. This lap is going to decimate our previous lap of a 1:41.830, and across the line we will go. It's a 1:41.497 for the MotoE World Cup winner, and on the penultimate lap to have just under 2 seconds advantage, I think my job is well and truly done here today. So as it's pretty much going to be smooth sailing from this point onwards, let me know in the comments section down below what you guys think about MotoE so far, and if you're enjoying this particular career mode that we're doing. And do remember, it is only going to be 7 races here in MotoE, so every race extremely counts. Every single one is carrying 25 points up for grabs, which are going to be critical by the end of this championship. And already at the end of the second one, we're already going to be looking very confident in our abilities. We run it a little bit too deep there for Muse. The front tyre getting a little bit warm, and the same can be said for the rear, but it's nothing to really panic about. We're on the penultimate lap. I'm pretty confident we're going to get a good lap on this one as well. As I just noticed as well that Jordi Torres is now ahead of Eric Granado, and Dominic Egerter, the man who's currently in second place in the World Championship, is in 4th position, so a decent amount of points for Egerter, but he's still going to be losing around 12 points to the man in 1st position, i.e. myself. So going into Shimano Buff now for the left-hander for turn 9, we'll have a little short right-hander for turn 10, and we'll bring on the acceleration coming into turn 11 in just a moment's time. This is another green lap time, if you will, so another lap that's going to be an improvement on the 1:41.497, which we set on the previous lap time. Pretty confident we're going to set an even better lap, unless something goes wrong in the final corners, which I very much doubt. We seem to have the... oh, very close. No, we're still alright. I think we might have just gone off track limits there, but it looks like the game took pity on us and didn't give us a penalty. But across the line we will go. Another 10th clear from the 1:41.497. So I think this one is pretty much feet up, chill out and enjoy the last journey on this particular MotoE race here in the French GP. What a terrific race it's been so far though. I did expect to get away and start churning out the fast lap times, but I wasn't expecting Granado to hold us up as much as he did. He did a terrific job. Whether his tyres went, or maybe he just lost a bit of confidence after we lost the lead to me, not too sure, but Torres now got ahead of him and he's been unable to chase us down as well, as the gap is now 3 seconds here in this MotoE race for Le Mans. We have been just absolutely perfect. Really brilliant. This is going to be an unbelievable sort of conclusion to by the end of the second race, and I think it's telling the big picture, it really is. The end of Jerez, we had the E-pole, we had the fastest lap of the race and the race victory, and the same can be said here today in Le Mans on this final lap if we get the job done. This is going to be a very telling sign, and it's going to give a lot of fear to the other riders. It really is, because of course, what can they do now? If the man is on this much confidence and this much momentum, who is going to stop him? Someone's going to have to. Otherwise, it's going to be an absolute dominant performance from race 1 all the way to race 7. But we'll only have a couple more corners to navigate now, and we're talking another hefty 25 points in the back pocket of this World Championship leader. As we go into the left-hander for turn 12, everyone can prepare to celebrate for the British rider who's going to win for the 4th time in his career here in Le Mans. What a wonderful record here in this beautiful track. Let's have a celebration with a wheelie, but I tell you what, we were up by 7/10 of a second on this lap. That lap could have been absolutely incredible if we continued, but the victory was far more important. So the end of the French Grand Prix, Grant wins and did actually set the fast lap of the Grand Prix on that last lap, even considering we had a big fat wheelie towards the end of it, and 4.5 seconds was the gap to Jordi Torres and 4.8 to Eric Granado in 3rd position. Brilliant performance from Matt Grant, the double winner already in his very brief MotoE career. So look at the championship standings, and no doubt that Grant leads the way with a perfect 50 points, 17 points clear from the Swiss rider Dominic Egerter behind, and 19 points clear from Jordi Torres, who finished in second here today. So look at the team championship, and the Trentino Gresini MotoE racing team are leading the way with a whopping 21 points clear from Tech 3 E-Racing and 24 clear from Pons Racing in third place. So guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, have a look at the podium celebration, or at least the Parc Ferme celebration here in this MotoE Grand Prix. It's been another terrific Grand Prix, and I am really loving this MotoE Championship so far. So if you guys are as well, make sure you like, comment and subscribe to this channel, because of course I'll upload way more MotoGP 21 content, and I'll continue to upload the rest of this MotoE Championship. So upon that note guys, thanks for watching. It's been a pleasure to make this video. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment and subscribe if you did, and I will see you in the next Grand Prix. Ciao for now. Oh hi! Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more Dot Race content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dr. Race video.